another Cosmos ecosystem project that's building and building and getting ready to launch. That's what I want to be talking about in this video.
Meet Nordpass. It creates strong passwords for you, keeps them safely locked in a single place, and automatically logs you into all of your favorite online accounts. And you can access it all on all of your devices, even when you're offline. That's Nordpass.
The world's most advanced cold wallet for the new generation of cryptocurrency lovers, Descent.
Hi everybody, this is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. And in this video, I'm going to be interviewing two of the team from Say. This is a brand new project that's building to launch as part of the Cosmos ecosystem. We're going to be finding out all about it. Now, before I do so, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Crypto Rich YT. If you're watching this on YouTube, come over to bit.ly Crypto Rich Odyssey, because I'm censored on YouTube and I post a whole lot more stuff on Odyssey than I do on YouTube. And please, and also join my official Telegram announcements channel and comments and questions and all that business. There you go. Hi, Dan. Hi, Ken. Thank you so much for making yourselves available. Dan, you and I, we've done many of these. You're now with a new project, Say, and the website is saynetwork.io. I'll have all the links in the description below. And I know next to nothing about this website, this project. So if you're a newbie to this, you're going to be getting all your questions answered, because I'm a newbie to this as well. So we're going to discover together. Okay. Hey, Dan. Hey, Ken. Thank you. Do you guys want to say what it is you do at Say?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much, Rich, for having us on. Kevin and myself are honored to be on the Crypto Rich show, and it's great to be reconnected, man.
Yes.
So yeah, we're building Say, which is a layer 1 blockchain optimized for decentralized finance. So it's the fastest L1 chain to build out the next layer and next generation of DeFi protocols that otherwise have been held back primarily by the AMM, the automated market maker model. Long story short, we're building out the infrastructure to have the best and next scalable products come to crypto in DeFi.
Okay, let me break that down, right? Let me break that down. So layer 1 project. So like Ethereum, you can build applications on top of it. Not a currency in the way that USDC or Bitcoin or Pirate Chain are currencies. And the difference, part of the Cosmos ecosystem, the difference with Cosmos is none of the projects are built on top of each other. Because they all...
yeah, within Cosmos, you can have layer 1 blockchains and you can have application-specific blockchains. So like Juno, right, is a layer 1 blockchain. Yeah. And then there's protocols built on top of Juno. But Juno...
But there's a difference, which is to say Ethereum, which is they're not on top of it, they're connected to it. It's like a solar system.
To an extent, yeah. You're talking about different layer 1 blockchains and then connect via IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communications Protocol. But even within those layer 1 blockchains, they can have their own ecosystems, right?
Right.
So on Juno Swap is an application built on top of Juno.
Yes.
And Juno Swap is not its own layer 1 blockchain. And other like applications that are built on top of Juno can be called CW20, CosmWasm 20 tokens, but they're not their own layer 1 blockchains. They're applications built on the layer 1, which would be Juno. But Juno is permissionless and anyone can build on it. Whereas Say is a layer 1 blockchain exclusively built for decentralized finance applications and is not permissionless. It's only for protocols that make sense, that are focused on decentralized finance, that are going to leverage the underlying technology of the Say blockchain.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what really makes...
One second, Kevin. It's going to have its own ecosystem. Okay, good. Sorry, Kevin.
No, that's exactly right. At Say, we're really focused on building this DeFi ecosystem that enables these builders to actually use this optimized environment for DeFi. Right. And that's what, the point that you're bringing up here is like really what makes Say unique, is that like most layer 1s actually fall in this barbell distribution. So they're either these general purpose chains like Solana, Ethereum, Aptos. And then within the Cosmos, there are these app specific chains like DYDX, Osmosis, Kajira. And what Say actually explores is the middle of the barbell. So rather than being just like a general purpose chain or just an app specific chain like Osmosis, that's like an AMM specific chain, Say is actually DeFi specific. And this enables us us builders to actually explore a brand new design space where the chain is actually optimized for DeFi applications. So these are things like perpetuals exchanges, options, hybrid AMMs that utilize some of the technology of Say. And because of the way that we've designed the chain purposely for it's purpose-built for DeFi and it's optimized for speed, it allows these builders to come into this perfect environment that enables them to build truly scalable DeFi products.
Okay, I'm going to come to some of that. Automated market makers. We're talking about applications like Uniswap and PancakeSwap and Osmodex, automated market makers, which are decentralized applications where it's peer-to-peer trading through a liquidity pool.
That's right.
Okay, and you're going to revolutionize that. Now, as you were talking, Kevin, the thing that I'm struggling with, which I suppose many people are going to struggle with when they encounter Say, is that this is something which sounds like it's quite remarkably different to anything that's gone before. So then the challenge, because Osmosis Dex, it's like Uniswap but on Cosmos. PancakeSwap is like Uniswap but on Cosmos. Whereas Uniswap was quite different from Ether Delta and Fork Delta, which I have used, and boy, those are something else, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important to know that once again we are a layer one, so we're actually just an infrastructure layer. So we're not. It's not great to make a comparison between like what we're trying to do and what Uniswap has done, right? Because we're just the underlying DeFi infrastructure. So this is things like actually like an order book and providing DeFi specific improvements to the chain, like MEV protection, where a builder comes in and they actually build upon Say in order to build something like a Uniswap or like a hybrid AMM that utilizes the different architecture of Say, if that makes sense.
It does.
And
that's a really
Rich,
good point.
if you want to have like something that's a little more like a mental model to like apply what Say is. So Solana is a layer one blockchain, but then there's a protocol built on it called Serum. And Serum was infrastructure for decentralized finance with an order book built into it. So we're essentially building a similar vision to what Serum had, but as a layer one blockchain, and for applications to build on top of that, leveraging the Cosmos tech stack and like better fast finality and solving a lot of the issues that Serum faced.
Right. Okay. Now, I don't know Serum at all, right? But one question I have is like there are many, many layer one projects. You know, of course, there's the big ones like Ethereum and Cardano and Solana and Binance Smart Chain and stuff, right? What is it about Say that is its USP? And you may have already said it, but I'm asking specifically in this way.
Yeah, so the selling point for Say is that it's a layer one optimized for the next generation of decentralized finance applications. Okay. DeFi kind of took off in 2020, right? Crypto Rich, remember summer, DeFi summer and all the like food coins that were going crazy and people are getting into yield farming and everyone became a farmer all of a sudden. That was funny and that was awesome. It was really cool. And that was really predicated on this AMM, this automated market maker model, right? But AMMs are very inefficient with price execution and with liquidity, not concentrated at the actual spot price. And they're great for, you and I, Crypto Rich, to swap a token that's maybe ranked number 500 in CoinGecko. And it's great for long tail assets and it's great to be able to swap one for one. That's why like we saw Uniswap have so much success. Uniswap undeniably has product market fit. But if you want to have more financial applications, some of the ones that Kevin was speaking to, derivatives, options, synthetic assets, more types of, advanced financial products that you might find on Wall Street or like completely opening up the design space for financial applications, you need a better infrastructure than the automated market maker model. And right now there are actually teams that are trying to do some of those things built on an AMM, but there's a lot of inefficiencies. So we're actually using an order book as part of the technology set, building within Say to take DeFi to the next level so that we can actually build robust applications fully on chain.
Okay, and because I know there are other projects within the Cosmos ecosystem that have got derivatives, and I'm not going to name them, right? But they're doing some of the stuff that you mentioned. So what is it how will Say do that differently? What would it look like?
Mm-hmm. I'll chime in one thing that's different. So you can think of things like DYDX is coming to Cosmos, right? Or you can think of things like Injective, and they have a perpetuals protocol. But both of those are, DYDX is, like, as Kevin mentioned earlier, explicitly an app chain, right? So it's kind of like Osmosis. So they're a blockchain, but they're application specific for their perpetuals protocol. Injective is more trying to build an ecosystem. But the challenge with Injective is a lot of the protocols in the Injective ecosystem are built by the core team that built the Injective blockchain. So it's an ecosystem built from the products are built from the same owners. Kujira is similar. There's several products within Kujira, but they're built by the Kujira team. Whereas with Say, we don't pretend to be experts in building applications as well as infrastructure. And so we're not building DEXs, we're not building applications. We're building the infrastructure layer, and then we are working with teams that are more competent and have more experience than us in the specific applications that they're knowledgeable about to come bring their protocol instance built on the Say blockchain.
Right. Okay. So then other projects, other teams would build the applications. And you said earlier that it would your Say is not permissionless; it's permissioned. So how would that work, and what's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, so we're a permission network, which really means that we can really, the Say community can come in and decide which projects they believe are top teams that can come in and really build a truly scalable DeFi product. And the reason why we do this is because essentially DeFi cannot scale with current layer ones that are general purpose chains because they deal with this congestion, right? So as a general purpose chain attracts users, and more builders come into the space, they create these various different projects, like an NFT project, right? And this causes a lot of congestion on the chain. And having outages and having issues with the speed of the chain is okay if you're an NFT project, but this is really catastrophic if you are a DeFi project. If the chain is having problems with performance, it really hampers the liquidity that is provided within a lot of these DeFi apps. So things like spot markets or things like perpetual markets really struggle when there's a lot of congestion and there is performance degradations as a result of how many people are on the network. So the reason why it's permissioned is we can then focus on the Say community can really focus on bringing in high quality builders that are really focused on creating DeFi apps that benefit from the underlying infrastructure of Say. So being able to tap into a built-in order book and having these customizations like that improve MEV, that limit MEV. And because of this, they're actually able to then kind of have this space where a lot of these different DeFi protocols can operate in this composable and high performance environment to where the applications can actually work together. So these teams can work together to share liquidity and to really scale their user bases by offering multiple different ways that these users can use all these different types of apps. And we think that is truly the true way that these projects and these dApps scale to millions of users. If we were not permissioned, there would be a lot of challenges with the quality of the projects that come on, or even just how the chain is being used, to where the Say community would struggle with some of the performance challenges that I've alluded to.
Yep. Okay. No, I got it. And then you said the community. So let me get this right. I'm assuming that the Say blockchain is going to be decentralized in the traditional blockchain and the Cosmos ecosystem, but there'll be a sort of governance mechanism which will operate as a gatekeeper, which projects get in and don't get in and stuff. So there'll be some sort of assessment process going on, perhaps done by the community, perhaps shared by the team as well. And then the token would be used for the voting as a government token.
You got exactly right.
I
all over it.
finally understand crypto. At last, it's taken me years. Okay, all right. And then, okay. Now, who are the people why would anybody want to build applications? Well, you kind of answered that, but who are they that would build applications on the same network?
Yeah.
How would you find them?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Rich. And so just give kind of like back up a little bit and give some context. So the Say blockchain is live on testnet, and Kevin was mentioning that the chain needs to have high performance for applications to thrive. And we already mentioned earlier that like Uniswap, right, undeniably has product market fit and actually gains traction. But we have not seen more advanced financial products gain product market fit on chain. They have gained a ton of traction in crypto. You can think back to the BitMEX days when Arthur Hayes was running around crazy and everyone was trading, crazy leverage on BitMEX. And then that got taken off by Binance and now even FTX, right? They have more advanced financial products and they have significant usage. And the derivatives market in traditional finance is substantially larger than the spot and like direct trading market. And that'll also be the case in crypto. And it already is. Derivatives are growing exponentially, but almost all of them are happening with centralized players like Binance and FTX. Right. We haven't seen this take off in a truly decentralized fashion with DeFi applications. And the reason is because the infrastructure doesn't exist for it to thrive. So the closest example you could have is like DYDX, which has gained some traction and is probably the best, the most traction of any protocol as far as derivatives. But even that is not fully on chain. Their matching engine is not on chain. So they have centralized components because they weren't able to do it built on Ethereum, and then they went on Starkware to build it on Starkware, and now that's why they're building their own app chain, leveraging the Cosmos tech stack. So it's almost validating that, say, before DYDX made a decision, independently decided that the Cosmos tech stack makes the most sense to be able to build the infrastructure for DeFi to thrive. So who are the teams that are coming to Say? Well, it's crazy considering we're only on a testnet, and this idea and this chain only started up really at the onset of the beginning of this year. We have over 20 teams now that have decided to build on Say's infrastructure. And where are those teams? Who are they? Where are they? They're well-known protocols coming from Terra, because Terra actually had a pretty well-established DeFi ecosystem. Solana, some of the teams that are built on Serum that have had challenges, with the Solana ecosystem or with the blockchain not performing the way they need for their applications. Near, there are teams coming from Near. And then we're also talking to teams that are building kind of in some of these generation 3 blockchains like Aptos and Sui, built by the Facebook people. We're talking to some of those DeFi applications as well. So we have an outbound team that is talking to protocols and getting to understand what their needs are and what they're looking to build, and if it makes sense that the Say infrastructure makes more sense. And then we're also getting a lot of inbound people coming to Say and saying, wow, this is actually the architecture we've been looking for our app to succeed. Let's talk about what an integration process looks like and how we would get voted on via governance.
Right. Okay. And who are you and the team? Who are the team?
Yeah. So our team so when we talk about team, we're actually talking about Say Labs. So Say Labs is the organization that is fostering kind of the growth of the Say ecosystem. And that team is comprised of 3 main groups. So senior engineers that primarily come from Robinhood, Cosmos OGs like Dan, and then those with a background in traditional finance like myself from top firms like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and RBC. That's really the Say Lab team. And we have been working on the project since the beginning of the year, and it's been a really exciting journey so far. Harkening back to your point, it's the reason why these DeFi builders are coming is really because Say is the fastest layer 1 blockchain. And these DeFi teams really recognize the need for being on a really high performant chain that has the fastest speeds to finality. That is really attractive to them because essentially when you have really fast finality, it really benefits market makers or the people that provide liquidity to dApps. They're able to provide tighter spreads on trades. And tighter spreads leads to attracting more traders because then traders are getting better rates on the trades that they take, and they're just super excited about the built-in order book module that Say has built within within the layer 1 chain itself. That is like very appealing to these DeFi builders because they recognize that that is the future, which is really the past, because order books are how all the biggest exchanges in the world work. So when you think of high performant exchanges in traditional finance, you think of NASDAQ, right? And the NASDAQ is built on a high performant order book. And that's exactly what we're doing at SEI. And quite precisely what our engineering team did at Robinhood is build out a really robust order book infrastructure.
Right. Okay. Now, you said that this is fast. I mean, how fast? How many transactions per second?
So, Rich, do you know what the typical, like, and Kevin was talking about speed to finality, right? So when you make a trade, when your order settles and it's settled on chain so that you actually have full custody of the funds, do you know what the typical length of a block time is for a typical Cosmos SDK chain?
Off the top of my head, I would say I've never measured it, but it seems like about 5, 6, 7 seconds.
You're exactly right. 6 to 7 seconds.
And this
the same blockchain we've been working.
This is with the low transaction fees on Osmo. Right?
There you go. No, you're exactly right, sir. And we've been working with some of the top, the top minds in the Cosmos ecosystem that actually originally built the Cosmos SDK and understand how Tendermint consensus works. And we've been tweaking the chain. So this isn't a vanilla version of a Cosmos SDK chain. We've heavily customized it to optimize it for this area, this design space that Kevin talked about, where it's not just an app-specific chain like Osmosis, and it's not a layer 1 general purpose blockchain like Ethereum. It's a layer 1 blockchain that is permissioned for DeFi protocols. So that has the fastest chain to finality. Right now, we've optimized the chain to get it to about 800 milliseconds per block. So basically a magnitude of 10 times faster.
800 milliseconds. Whoa. I'm sorry. 800 milliseconds per block.
Sub 1 second, yeah.
That's what? A millisecond is a thousandth of a second. So that's 0.8 of a second. Is that right?
Exactly right.
8.8 of a second per block. Wow. That's fast.
Yeah. So for context, I think the fastest chain to have a block right now is Solana. And they're between like 400 and 600 milliseconds per block. So slightly faster block times. But based on Solana's consensus mechanism, the blocks are not made to finality until at least 1 to 2 seconds. So there's still a little bit of a lag. And what that impacts is order execution, which Kevin was speaking to, right?
Right.
So at every block, the blocks are made come to finality and orders are settled every block.
Wow.
So SEI right now is the fastest blockchain that I'm aware of on the planet to get to finality. And that's what's important for decentralized finance applications. As Kevin mentioned, that might not matter as much for an NFT protocol or a gaming protocol that isn't giving you like real-time immediacy for the game. It's just like when you achieve an unlock, you're able to get points, things like that. Or even for like an AMM, that's not as crucial. But for an order book structure and for decentralized finance applications that are more robust, you need really tight spreads and great order execution. And that does happen in not only on the NASDAQ, but that happens on Binance. That happens on FTX. When you have the centralized entity and you control all of those things, it's a lot easier in a closed garden, centralized ecosystem to be able to have tight spreads, fast finality, because it's not happening on chain.
Sure.
We're now building the infrastructure to bring the full suite of applications that could be built within the FTX ecosystem on chain in a decentralized fashion.
And what does that translate to transactions per second? Because I think Bitcoin does 7 transactions per second.
Yeah, so we think of it as orders, not transactions, right? Because when you're making an order, Rich, you're saying, I'm going to put a bid in to buy Ethereum at $1,600. And I'm going to put an ask in to sell Ethereum at $1,650. And those are 2 different orders. And then when the order executes, that's also an order. So we are still working on optimizations for orders. Right now, it's fast. It's in the tens of thousands, but we're going to need to see that continue to increase. To Kevin's point, if we're going to have millions of users, like if on SEI right now, there's 20 applications that have committed to building on SEI. I expect that number to grow over time, but I expect that number actually to be less, quite frankly, that have extreme product market fit, right? That have tens of millions of users using them on a regular basis. That will probably be, ideally a handful of them. But when you get to that scale, you need to be able to have the chain handle that type of scale.
Sure.
So right now we're in the tens of thousands of orders per second, and we'll see that scale over time. And also, there's one other unique aspect of Sei, and then I'll kind of give up the mic. So Sei is a layer 1 blockchain, and there's applications built on top of it using the Cosmos tech stack, right?
Mm-hmm.
But any one of those that gains significant product market fit and actually starts to congest the chain because of the product of their own success, we would encourage that chain to spin off and no longer be having that protocol built on top of Sei, but have their own L1 built with the Cosmos tech stack. And we, as the engineers at Sei Labs, would even help facilitate that. Because what was important is that the Sei blockchain always has a great space and throughput for DeFi applications. And if that were to ever become a constraint, then that chain could spin out and kind of mature into its own L1.
Okay. I've made up a metaphor just to get this, and you're welcome to take this metaphor and tinker with it and improve it. But if Bitcoin were a bicycle, to give an idea of how fast it goes, and Ethereum is a Model T Ford, and sometimes the bicycle can go faster than the Model T Ford, right? Downhill. And then you've got Cardano and Solana and stuff. Perhaps there's, I don't know, Ford Mondeos or something, or Priuses later on down the line. Then what we're talking about here is something akin to a rocket ship. Would that be clumsy enough, but accurate enough as well to give some idea of the difference in speed?
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good analogy, but it's honestly a rocket ship that's like modular, because our engineers or Sei Labs and the other engineers from the community that are contributing to Sei are constantly thinking about how they can improve the performance of the chain. So like what Dan said, as far as like throughput or TPS or orders, we are already in line with I would say other general purpose and high performance chains that like Solana, like Near, like Aptos and Sway that haven't launched to mainnet, but are also kind of really focused on claiming that they're really high performant. We're really focused on improving these numbers over time, and I think the reason being is like in traditional finance, some of these like credit card processors or some of these firms like Visa, right? They do 75,000 transactions a second, right? And no blockchain right now is optimized in order to handle that. Where we think building, or the Sei community building on the Cosmos SDK, like we can actually really focus on optimizing and continually improving the underlying chain in order to get to these metrics that allow us to compete with traditional financial products.
Wow. All in decentralized fashion. That's quite remarkable and very, very encouraging. Now, the team who are tinkering and improving and all of this, right, then they will have, some of them, they'll have babies and families and bills to pay. So I imagine they're doing it all out of the goodness of their heart, entirely voluntary. Actually, I'm asking, how is it being funded so far?
Yeah, so the Sei Labs was bootstrapped, funded in the beginning of the year, but TBD, there will be an announcement coming out of a venture raise as well. Mm-hmm. That's exciting. That's kind of wrapped up, and there will be an announcement coming. But needless to say, Sei Labs is capitalized and focused on building and contributing to the best blockchain for DeFi. And little alpha leak, there will be more to come on that.
Right. And the structure that you described, in my experience, is quite typical within Cosmos, that people will bootstrap a project, get enough going to have an MPV or something, enough to satisfy venture capital or some sort of private raise, and then they go and develop it further, and then comes the airdrop. So what can you tell me about the airdrop?
You're not wrong about any of that, Rich. You got it. You're spot on. So that's kind of been the blueprint that Sei Labs team has followed, and we've seen success so far. So yeah, we have If you've been following the Say account on Twitter, it's twitter.com/Say Network. You'll see that there's been some alpha leaked. There's an airdrop, a leak that was dropped for the Terra community, and there was also one for the Atom community, and probably more information to come. But
but the airdrops they're not happened. The airdrops haven't happened. They've not happened. Okay, and
the airdrop will happen when Say goes on mainnet.
And when is that likely to be?
So, as of right now, based on kind of the latest understanding, the goal is that Say would go on mainnet in Q4. Okay. And it looks like everything is kind of so far aligned with that, but it's dependent on engineering resources and engineering execution. I would say that Kevin mentioned the Say Labs team and that there's kind of 3 categories, but being a part of it and as a co-founder, it's been incredibly rewarding. Operating at breakneck speed, and I've never seen more progress in such a short amount of time with people that are very aligned. And so there's 20 of us on the team, 10 on the engineering side, and then 10 on growth and business development. And we can talk more about kind of what we've accomplished to date, but yeah, it's been impressive.
Sure. Okay, we can do that, but I want to, because where I was taking this to is because most of the people who are going to be watching this video are going to be retail. People like myself got into crypto or whatever for whatever reason, and then are using it to generate some income or revenue and stuff, and have tried out some of the other Cosmos-based projects. So the token's going to be used for the governance, but apart from that, why would anybody be interested in having the Say token?
Yeah, so I can speak to that. The Say token is going to provide a lot of the same benefits that like the Sol token on Solana provides. Mm-hmm. So it's governance and helping decide the future of the chain and what are the protocols that are going to be built on it, as well as security, right? So you'll be able to participate in security and the future of the chain by delegating to validators and having those validators secure the blockchain. And in doing so, there's staking rewards for delegating to validators and securing the chain. So the token really helps with security as well as governance and the future direction of the chain.
Right. Okay. And then the point you made about what have you accomplished so far? Do you want to run us through that?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'll let Kevin chime in here as well. So we're on an incentivized testnet now that we started last month. And the incentivized testnet is geared towards really anyone, people that want to try out decentralized applications built on Say, as well as validators that want to work on securing the chain. And we had an open application process for people to apply for participating in. It's called the Say NAMI testnet. And we had over 2,500 different validators alone that applied for testnet. And right now, I think on the chain, there's 2,000 validators on the chain. And the ones that are actually validating the chain in real time, there's 50 that are a part of this active set. And out of the 2,500, there's 250 that are rotating. Every couple of days, a different group rotates to be a part of the active set, validating the chain. And with 50 validators, we're seeing around 800 millisecond blocks. So the testnet's going incredibly well. Not only do we have so many validators participating, but even Rich, you could participate even if you don't run a validator. One protocol that has announced that it's going to be built on Say is called Vortex, and it's a perpetuals trading protocol. So a lot of the same use cases that you could have from like a DYDX, and it is actually live on testnet right now. So you can earn Say tokens by participating in the Say NAMI testnet, and we're taking this testnet very seriously. It's 4 acts. It's pretty robust. It'll go over the course of like a 3-month window to really battle test the chain, battle test the protocols built on the chain, and battle test the functionality. And we're allocating 1% of the entire total supply of Say tokens for this testnet, which is a significant portion because we're really looking to take security and architecture and making it robust seriously. So that's one aspect that we've kind of seen traction for so far. Kevin can touch on some others.
Yes, I think this also really goes into focusing on how we've been able to grow the Say community. Um, we have over 20,000 followers within our Discord. Our Twitter is almost at 20,000 followers as well. We've seen a tremendous amount of community support from various different crypto communities, and we've also been able to grow a global network of ambassadors who are really interested in being a part of the Say community and are contributing on a daily basis. They're contributing content, they're asking questions, they're coming in and really learning a lot about DeFi. It's just been a really tremendous experience so far. So we encourage you and anybody that listens to this to consider popping into our Discord and following our Twitter and getting involved in any way possible. As we really feel like this is a really strong opportunity to find your community within crypto and also to learn about DeFi. And it's been really exciting to hear about different members of our community that have found roles through kind of contributing to Say.
Right, no, that's quite remarkable that to have that large a community and you haven't even launched yet.
Rich, you don't want to see my Discord. Oh my God, man. It's like Christmas lights. Like it's just blowing up everywhere. It's crazy. It's awesome to see how active and engaged it is. Jump in, you'll be like, holy crap.
Right.
But yeah, it's wild. It's cool.
And the good news for you, Dan, is it's only going to get busier, especially when you launch.
Oh my God.
Many Christmas lights.
I need to make some expectations with my wife that I'm going to have a lot of screen time.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So now that says something about how successfully you've built and how people regard this project, because many of those people will have looked into it. It's like, oh, this looks good. Let me go into this. I'm going to have all the links in the description below so that people can find out how they can get involved and do their own research and stuff. Is there anything else you want to let us know before we finish up? Anything else we haven't covered that you think is important?
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to get, and kind of to echo Kevin's point, invite people to get involved. As little as follow the Say Network account on Twitter. You'll see kind of what are the ongoings, what are the happenings. A lot of partnerships are getting announced. A lot of those 20 DeFi protocols that are building on Say are going to get announced over the coming weeks and months. And there's lots of ways to get engaged. So you can participate in the Say Nami testnet. You can start earning tokens just by participating. You can get involved in Atlantis, the ambassador community. And Atlantis is not just like another, slap together an ambassador program. This is actually about growing up and getting careers in Web3. So we have kind of different tiers of kind of like activity and engagement. And as you kind of level up, there's more opportunities and opportunities for professional development. And at the latest stages, we're going to be actively looking to help place you into jobs, whether they're protocols built in the Say ecosystem or, there are other jobs within crypto. We're obviously well connected. Aurora is our marketing manager. She came as an ambassador to Sentinel. She ran Sentinel Croatia and was a rock star. And I met her in person in Lisbon at the Cosmoverse conference. And I was like, wow, you run Sentinel Croatia. You put out some of the best content and you're so reliable. I'd love to talk to you more. We had multiple interviews. She ended up running marketing at Exidio, building on Sentinel. And when there's this opportunity with Say, it was a no-brainer, and she came over. Another guy on our team, Joe, also runs a lot of our social channels, has come up through getting to know Kevin and other people through Discords. So a lot of people are testaments to growing out of getting involved in crypto, getting involved in DeFi, participating in ambassador communities, providing value, and then having that kind of rise themselves up and take careers. And we take that very seriously. And so the Atlantis program is really about career development. It's really cool. It's something that I'm really proud of. And then there's a lot of other ways to get involved as well. You can understand what protocols might make sense to build on Say, and you can make introductions. You can get to know us as a team. We're trying to make it a very open process for people to get involved. It's crazy to see 20,000 people in our Discord. It's insane. Like, I would not have expected this 8 months into the project, but yeah, it's hard to say how excited I am and how easy it is to get involved.
Sure. And people can find out about the ambassador program through Discord and also through the website. And I'll have the links to that in the description below. Anything else, guys? No? Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank you both very, very much for taking your time to explain how Say works. And I look forward to having you on again to find out more about this. And I'm interested in following this project because one of the things that's happened Dan, I actually got involved in the Cosmos ecosystem partly through you. There were three, actually a lot through you. There were three Cosmos projects that I already had. I had Atom by accident. I had Secret because of the privacy, and then DVPN through the BPSAA. And then came Osmo airdrop, and then I got interested in a whole lot more. And there are other projects that I'm interested in that I follow, and this could be one of those. But you need to work that out for yourself if you're watching this video and do your own due diligence. Go check it out, because I think the Cosmos ecosystem is very, very promising. Has many, many advantages to many of the other ecosystems. So I'd invite you to go check this out. And if you have any comments or questions, put them in the description below. Please follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Kevin and Crypto Dan signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Nordvpn is becoming more than just a VPN. Threat protection will guard your device against malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads, even if you're not connected to a VPN server at the time. Step up your cybersecurity and stay safe.